Well, you all saw the title of the video. I'm not going to make it any longer than it needs to be. I'm just going to pull my pants down here, show you my cock as it is. KSI won that fight. Like 100%. I don't understand how anyone could think otherwise. I think, before I go into this, I am not, in terms of the boxing fight, a KSI fan. I didn't care if he won. And I don't care about Tommy. I don't care about either of them. I just thought, you know what? I love influencer boxing because it's just fun to watch. That's the key word here. It's fun to watch. So I don't have a horse in the race here. I really didn't care the outcome. But how you could look at that and say Tommy won in any facet is horrendous. And one of the things I hate is when anyone gets robbed, especially when they work hard. Like, the one thing I really admire about JJ, probably the only thing I really admire about JJ, is how much he works. Everything he puts into, he puts his absolute all into. And just seeing all that months of work being put into to then get robbed in any facet, not just JJ, anyone getting robbed after they put so much money, time, effort into anything, just always puts a really sour note in my mouth. Now, for those of you who know me or even don't know me, I think you could probably tell, I don't really watch boxing. I watched a lot of MMA back in my day, like 2-3 years ago. I kind of gone off it now. I watch a lot of MMA, and I kind of watch boxing here and there, but I'm by no means a boxing purist. So when I say KSI won, you guys like say, I'm sure you guys are going to say, oh, he doesn't watch boxing. What the fuck does he know? Listen, take it off me, take it off all the KSI fanboys, say whatever you want. Even as a boxing purist, you have to say that he's won through the shot. I think he landed more shots. He had more area control. I think he was the one going to Tommy. Tommy also had the point deduction. I think at the very best here, the best outcome Tommy could have had, and I wouldn't have had any qualms for it because I don't think any one of them really deserved to win, but maybe JJ edged it, is a draw, realistically. I think JJ won it is the fairest thing. I think a draw, yeah, I could see that. But a Tommy win, absolutely never. And before people go, oh, you're just a KSI fanboy, he is fucking awful. He is awful at boxing. And every time I think, you know, he's going to be better, he's going to jab a bit, he's going to do something, he's awful. I'm not saying he's a good boxer by any means, but I think he knew he was a bad boxer. And people saying, oh, he hugged. Of course he hugged. Why would you? This is the analogy I made to someone yesterday. If you're playing Call of Duty, a 1v1 versus someone, and you know that person is a professional sniper, very, very good at sniping, and you're not very good, why would you use a sniper? Why? You know that they're going to destroy you using that. So why would KSI come out trying to do very technical stuff in boxing when he knows he's not good, and when he knows Tommy has been doing this for so long? It obviously doesn't make sense. So obviously he's going to do the one thing that's going to, one, annoy Tommy, and two, he's going to be better at. It's in a clinch. He can then clinch, punch, and one thing JJ is very good at is being a dog. He can get punched and not go down. It's just typical KSI fashion. And like I said, people are probably going to be like, oh, you know nothing about boxing. You don't watch boxing as much as I do. You don't watch boxing as long as he does. Well, there's a picture going around of Tyson Fury even going like, I don't know. Majority of people, boxing fans and non-boxing fans, saw that he won. And you want me to go a step further? The organizer of, I don't know what organization he exactly runs, or firm or whatever it's called, a boxing organization. Not organization, something, a boxing company, something. Eddie Hearn, who has watched boxing, been involved, I don't know if he ever fought, but he's been involved in boxing, puts together the biggest fights ever, has one of the biggest people in his roster. He has Anthony Joshua in his roster as one of his, I don't know if he's an agent or something like that, but he's well into boxing. And even there's a clip out there, you go search up Eddie Hearn, KSI versus Tommy Fury. Even he goes, yeah, KSI won that. Not even a draw. He goes, yeah, KSI won that. And look at John Fury. John Fury is the biggest, like, yap. My fighter's the best. My fighter's the best. Brother, even he was like, have you ever seen John Fury deflated? Ever? Have you ever seen that man deflate? He was like, yeah, but like kind of just. And Tommy Fury, even after the fight, was like, yeah, I put my heart out there. Like, you know, you can. And I don't know why boxing purists or super boxing fans really like and love to gatekeep the sport, because it just doesn't make sense to me. You would want more people in your sport. You want more people doing it. Ultimately, if more people are participating, you're bringing more talent. Obviously not YouTubers, but people who are younger and growing up watching it and stuff like that. But they do this extreme gatekeeping that makes absolute no sense to me. And I genuinely think that boxing fans who think that Tommy Fury won is because they're embarrassed that Tommy Fury would lose to a YouTuber. But to be honest with you, from a Fury's name standpoint, from a boxing fan, boxing organization standpoint, that were embarrassed that Tommy would lose, I think it's more embarrassing for it to be seen as a robbery than Tommy losing to someone who's just genuinely worked very hard. Obviously, a lot of money, and he's brought in all the best coaches, and he has been doing it for 3-ish years. But still, it would look so much better than that. And I've always said that KSI was going to win this fight from day one. Not technically, by nothing. I think Tommy fell into the trap that I said exactly. Not as bad, but I said from day one, KSI's going to win for one pure reason. He loves that environment. He thrives off that environment, and other people just don't. We saw that against Logan, where Logan was just afraid to use his right hand, or else I think Logan would have probably won. And same thing with Tommy. Like, one of the things that I didn't see either of them do, KSI probably shouldn't do it because I think he's got shorter arms, and again, he's not technically gifted. But one of the best assets of the boxer, and if you're a boxing purist, you can correct me if you want here, but especially in MMA, I think, this is in my opinion, a jab is probably your best weapon. Unless you're super short, then probably not. But a jab is probably your best weapon. You can keep distance, you can feint them, you can block their like line of vision in case you want to set up a right. There's so many facets to a jab, and that he just didn't use. And the thing is, everyone calls KSI shit because he is shit. But Tommy's a professional boxer, and he was awful. The one thing KSI kept doing was going down and clinching. The biggest counter to that is doing an uppercut. And brother did none of that. And KSI gave him so many options to do that, and he just didn't do that. The other thing KSI was doing was lunging at him and trying overhands. If you're a professional boxer, wait. Wait. That's the one thing people say. If you're a professional boxer in a street fight, the one thing you're going to do is wait for someone to just gas out, and then you can punch. Do the same thing. I don't get it. I'm going off a bit on a tangent here, but I don't see how anyone could see that Tommy won. Don't get me, it was scrappy, it was awful boxing, but it was within the rules. Tommy also got a point deducted, and KSI was landing the cleaner shots and doing what he needed to do to win. Was he the better boxer on the night? No, but neither was Tommy, and JJ did everything he could to win that. So, crazy. I don't even think I was going to do this video. And I keep seeing videos of people saying it's a robbery, it's a robbery, it's a robbery. But then there's that little group of people that are just like, you understand nothing about boxing. And I'm like, what? Does it make you proud that you're just wrong, or what? With like, if it was just the fans saying it, then maybe I'd overlook it and I'd be like, okay. But I saw the match. I thought that he won, or at best a draw. You then have his own brother making weird faces, his father acting completely uncharacteristic, Eddie Hearn, who was very, very, very well known in the boxing world, very knowledgeable in the boxing world, clearly said KSI won. We had, what's his name? There was a boxer there as well, standing next to JJ, and it could have been just because he was standing next to JJ that he said this, but he said, yeah, I thought you won. Are you going to tell me that these actual boxers and boxing people who have been in the space for probably a lot longer than these 20, 30-year-olds who are talking online, are you saying they're wrong? And you're right because you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to get hurt that a YouTuber beat some guy in your sport. Grow up. Who cares? The better man won. I support Chelsea in football. If some fucking Australian kids or American kids came over and beat my team, I wouldn't be like, or we beat them undeservingly. I wouldn't be like, yeah, oh yeah, Chelsea. Ooh. I'd be like, that's embarrassing. No, give it to them. The better team won. You've put in the time. Do it. Oh, I don't even necessarily care about the outcome. If Tommy won, again, I wouldn't care. I always like to see the best man win, whether it's against my team or even me. It's part of the competition. The one thing I hate, and I've always hated since I was a child, is cheating or stuff that's completely undeserved. I don't know why it really grinds my gears. I always hate it when people put a lot of time and effort and get literally slapped in the face for it, for someone who just has a name or someone who's being protected. It's absolutely awful. Like, let's take for example this. This is a bit out of the curve here, but I personally don't like the way KSI treats the whole Logan and CryptoZoo situation, because before the fight, KSI was like, oh, you're a piece of scum. You do a lot of these scummy things. And now that they're in a business partnership, it could be in the contract or something. But as soon as Logan did the CryptoZoo thing, KSI was like protecting him, or at least not saying anything on the situation. Whereas if it was before, he'd be like calling him out on it. And I'm like, why? You have this guy who scammed loads of people off of it, and now you're protecting him. Anyway, that's really far away from the point. It's just to prove that, like, I'm on neither side here. But yeah, I don't even know what to say. Like, he could appeal, but I think appealing has to be a very, very clear mistake, like a mathematical mistake or something. I can't remember. There has to be very specific situations for you to appeal and it actually work, I'm pretty sure. And for it just to be like the judges perceived it wrong, I don't think is enough. So I mean, I think they might just give it to Tommy. Also, the boxing organization might also be like, "Ooh, the Fury name. We'll just give this to them." Like, it's a YouTuber. He probably won't care that much in like a month or two. But honestly, if it does stick like this, which it probably will, I think this is a bigger stain in boxing than any YouTuber winning, even against Tyson Fury, against Prime Mike Tyson. I think this is really embarrassing for the sport. And the people who are trying to be like, you don't understand nothing about the sport, you're making it worse, in my opinion. Just let the better man win. Like, I don't know. I think it's crazy. I think it's nuts how people think of this situation. I don't know. I know a little bit about fighting. I don't know the most, but when you also have people who are within the sport and stuff saying these type of things, you kind of have to just let it go. Anyway, yeah, this video is way longer than I thought it was going to be. You guys get the point. I'm saying I think it's a robbery, but you know, they'll move on. They'll get over it. They'll probably rematch money. But yeah, he got robbed.